The 10 most terrifying creatures ever found. Here are 10 of the most terrifying creatures to ever, allegedly, have walked the earth. No matter what you believe, whatever they are. I think it is safe to say that the members of this list are the stuff of nightmares, and if encountered, even the most hardened individual would tremble with fear. These are the 10 most terrifying creatures ever found. Number 10. The Jersey Devil. The Jersey Devil, one of the most terrifying creatures, is said to have inhabited the Pine Barrens of southern New Jersey, with tales beginning in the 1800s and continuing until the 20th century. The creature is often described as a flying biped with hooves, but there are many different variations. The common description is that of a kangaroo-like creature with the head of a goat, leathery bat-like wings, horns, small arms with clawed hands, cloven hooves, and a forked tail. It has been reported to move quickly and is often described as emanating a blood-curdling scream. The legend of this creature stems from a tale about Mother Leeds, a local witch who invoked the devil while giving birth to her 13th child. It was said that Mother Leeds had 12 children and after finding she was pregnant for the 13th time, stated that this one would be the devil. In 1735, Mother Leeds was in labor on a stormy night. Gathered around her were her friends. Mother Leeds was supposedly a witch and the child's father was the devil himself. The child was born normal but then changed forms. It changed from a normal baby to a creature with hooves, a goat's head, bat wings, and a forked tail. Also, it growled and then screamed and then killed the midwife before flying up the chimney. It circled the villages and headed toward the pines. In 1740, a clergy exorcised the demon for 100 years, and it wasn't seen again until 1890. Number 9. Flatwoods Monster. The Flatwoods Monster is an unidentified extraterrestrial, or cryptid, reported to have been sighted in the town of Flatwoods in Braxton County, West Virginia, United States, in September 12, 1952. According to the reports, this creature was huge, at least 10 feet tall. Its face gave off a reddish glow and its body was green in color. Its head was shaped like a heart or ace of spades, and out of this strangely shaped head bulged non-human eyes. The body is described as being shaped similar to a man's and dressed in some sort of dark clothing resembling a skirt. Reports describe the creature variously as having either no visible arms or having short stubby arms ending in long claw-like fingers. Number 8. The Owlman. Owlman is a purported owl-like cryptid that was supposedly sighted around mid-1976 in the village of Mawnan, Cornwall. The Owlman is sometimes compared to America's Mothman in cryptozoological literature. The first sighting took place on April 17, 1976, when the creature was spotted hovering menacingly over the Manwan Church Tower. Oddly enough, sightings up to August 1978 all occurred within the vicinity of this church. This cryptid, which unsurprisingly has the appearance of an owl, is about the size of a man. It has pointed ears, red eyes, and black pincer-like claws. Its body bears some similarities to the more famous Mothman. It is supposed to have had large wings of a grayish color. Somewhat eerily, there were many UFO reports as well as accounts of animals behaving strangely in the surrounding area just prior to the Owlman sightings. Yet another similarity to the Mothman case. Number 7. Lizard Man of Scape or Swamp. Another from the most terrifying creatures, the Lizard Man is a reptilian humanoid cryptid which is said to inhabit areas of swampland in and around Lee County, South Carolina, along with the sewers and abandoned subways in towns near the swamp. The Lizard Man is generally described as being 7 feet tall, bipedal, and bulky, covered in dark hair and scaly lizard-like skin on its hands, feet, and face. It is said to have 3 toes on each foot and 3 fingers on each hand. The creature has an incredible degree of strength, more than capable of ripping into a car. The sightings began in 1988 with the most recent notable sighting in February of 2008. The first reported sighting of the creature was made by Christopher Davis, who said he encountered the creature while driving home from work on June 29, 1988. Davis said the creature tried to grab at the car and then jumped on its roof as he tried to escape, clinging onto it as Davis swerved from side to side in an effort to throw it off. After he returned home, Davis's side view mirror was found to be badly damaged, and scratch marks were found on the car's roof, though there was no other physical evidence of this encounter. Number 6. The Cockatrice. A cockatrice is a mythical beast, essentially a two-legged dragon with a rooster's head. According to Alexander Neckham's De Notaris Rerum ca. 1180, the cockatrice was supposed to be born from an egg laid by a chicken and incubated by a toad. A snake might be substituted in retellings. Its reputed magical abilities include turning people to stone or killing them by either looking at them. It can fly. In England, the town most associated with the cockatrice is the village of Wherwell, near Andover in Hampshire. The story is that the cockatrice terrorized the village until it was imprisoned in the dungeons below Worley Priory. A prize of land was offered to anyone who could kill the creature. None were successful until a man named Green lowered a mirror into the dungeon. The cockatrice battled against its own reflection until exhausted, at which point Green was able to kill it. Number 5. The Bunyip. The bunyip is one of the most terrifying creatures from Australian Aboriginal mythology, said to lurk in swamps, billabongs, creeks, riverbeds, and waterholes. It has been described as a giant starfish that walks on land. Other 19th century newspaper clippings describe it as having a dog-like face, dark fur or a horse-like tail, flippers and walrus-like tusks or horns or a duck-like bill. The very first description of this bizarre Australian cryptid appeared in a newspaper, the Geelong Advertiser, in July of 1845. The bunyip then is represented as uniting the characteristics of a bird and of an alligator. It has a head resembling an emu, with a long bill at the extremity of which is a transverse projection on each side, with serrated edges like the bone of the stingray. Its body and legs partake of the nature of the alligator. The hind legs are remarkably thick and strong, and the forelegs are much longer, but still of great strength. The extremities are furnished with long claws, but the blacks say its usual method of killing its prey is by hugging it to death. When in the water, it swims like a frog, and when on shore, it walks on its hind legs and its head erect, in which position it measures 12 or 13 feet in height. Number 4. The Sigbin. Sigbin is one of the most terrifying creatures from the Philippines that walks backwards with its head lowered between its hind legs and sucks the blood of its victims through their shadows. The Sigbin has the ability to become invisible to other creatures, especially humans. It resembles a hornless goat but has very large ears which it can clap like a pair of hands and a long, flexible tail that it can be used as a whip. The Sigbin is said to emit a nauseating odor. Sometimes it has a tendency to crab walk backwards, looking for children to devour. In 2005, scientists in Borneo discovered a cat-fox-like carnivore that has hind legs that are lower than its front legs. It is speculated that this species could be the original basis of the Sigbin legends. Others have speculated in the past that there could be an actual Sigbin animal, possibly related to the kangaroo. Number 3. Canvey Island Monster. Canvey Island Monster is the name given to an unusual creature whose carcass washed up on the shores of Canvey Island, England in November of 1953. A second, more intact carcass was discovered in August of 1954. The creature had reddish-brown skin, gills, and bulging eyes. It had hooved-shaped feet with small claws. It had sharp teeth and was small. Only 2 bodies were ever discovered. Some are speculating that it may have been some type of anglerfish, whose fins have been mistaken for feet, while others have come to a more likely conclusion, that it may have been a frogfish, which do in fact have leg-like fins, have bulging eyes, and take on a variety of colors including reddish-brown. Number 2. Pope Lick Monster. Pope Lick Monster is a creepy legend about a part man, part goat, and part sheep creature. He is believed to live beneath a Norfolk Southern Railway trestle over Pop Lick Creek in Louisville, Kentucky. Mostly, the Pope Lick monster appears as a human-goat hybrid with a grotesquely deformed body of a man. It has powerful, fur-covered goat legs, an alabaster-skinned face with an aquiline nose and wide-set eyes. Short, sharp horns protrude from the forehead, nestled in long, greasy hair that match the color of the fur on the legs. Numerous urban legends exist about the creature's origins and the methods it employs to claim its victims. In the late 1800s, there were rumors of wild animals roaming the Canadian wilderness. Locals called it the Pope Lick monster. Stories about the creature caught the attention of a circus owner. He captured the monster and began to exhibit it in his circus freak show. He traveled by train from town to town, and the monster was one of his star attractions. But he mistreated the monster and it grew to hate humans. One day, the monster escaped after a train derailed on the trestle. Since that time, people say the monster lives up on the trestle at Pope Lick Creek and lures people to their doom. Number 1. Lake Worth Monster. The Lake Worth monster is a North American cryptid. He is reported to live in around Lake Worth, just outside of Fort Worth, Texas. This scary monster looks like a half-man, half-goat. It was seen by many witnesses as it went on the rampage and attacked bystanders. The Lake Worth monster was first seen on a hot summer night in 1969. 3 young couples were parked in cars, enjoying the romantic view at the edge of the lake. Suddenly, a huge beast leaped out of nowhere and landed on the roof of one of the couple's cars. Terry Deckard, a reporter, wrote an article about it in the newspaper, which made the front page. The headline read, "Fishy Man-Goat Terrifies Couples Parked at Lake Worth." The couples that reported the sightings described it as a half-man, half-goat with fur and scales. Soon after that, another man, Tommy Burson, reported the creature landed on his car after jumping out of a tree. As proof, he had a 1.5 foot long scar on it. The police at this point decided to investigate. Up until then, they had laughed at any reports they received, thinking it was a hoax. Hey, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our channel to stay informed about our upcoming videos because more incredible content is on the way.